Hey smokers, Draga1 here. I was actually going to make a video about Mspaint getting killed from Microsoft Windows, but then they brought it back and it wasn't a problem and everybody's happy, so still going to do a Paint video. This is just a random idea that popped in my head about 15 minutes ago. It's probably stupid as hell, but we're going to try it. Currently, if you try to run the Windows 1 version of Paint on Windows 10, it darkens the whole screen and shows you this. So Windows 10 cannot run the original version of Paint, but can Sierra? That's a good question. Well, obviously not, right? Because, Sierra is, macOS, can't exactly run Windows software. Can't use DOSBox or anything like that because, it's not a DOS application, it's Windows. How are we gonna run Paint? Well, there is a little nifty tool called Wineskin. Now, there's a lot of videos out there already about Wineskin, but I don't think someone's done this yet. I don't know why they wouldn't have, though. Maybe they have already. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, so this is Wineskin Winery. This is how you make wine skins. Here we are. Okay, so full disclosure, also, I am running this in a virtual machine. I'm running this in Windows 10. If you want to take a look here, I mean, you probably could have guessed from me dragging this off the side, but yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on here. Swag, shit, yeah. So this is, again, 63 slots there. Okay, so what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to, I always fuck this part up. You're supposed to be able to create a new blank wrapper, but it's not letting me do that, so update. Okay, so you have to click update and then it downloads and installs it. So you're probably thinking, obviously I can't run Paint in my host operating system, so I need to do it in my guest operating system to properly run it. Okay, so we got the wrapper, add. Holy God, it's gotta be so weird. Fine, okay, I'll try this. There we go. Create new blank wrapper. This basically creates a wrapper, which is like an application package on macOS, which has the exe file and any other related files. You can actually install software into these packages, and then it runs it using Wine on macOS. And you can do this with a lot of different stuff. Lots of people out there have done it with games. Big time with games, running them on macOS or obscure Windows software that they can then just run on macOS without the need for a virtual machine. It just runs in this little package thing here all by itself. Now it sort of is kind of a virtual machine, and I'll show you why in a second. Paint. The thing is that it's a virtual machine that is the bare bones of tools necessary to run a Windows application and nothing else. Okay, so it has to wait a while. Install, okay. Now this still might not work. We may need to use a slightly newer version of Paint. But once we have the wrapper, then we can do anything, because it's essentially like we just made a little tiny virtual machine. And yeah. Okay. Don't really need the .NET framework for this, but okay, we'll just let it download whatever the hell it wants. And there's a lot of waiting. Just in the first part, though. And once it's done making the wrapper, then we'll be good. And I believe it stores the wrappers in a pretty unusual place. I think it's like in the user folder under applications in, yeah, there it is, in the user folder. Yeah, I already knew where it was before, so just gonna reopen that. So we don't really need this. Now, the first thing we do with this, and it's a little bit tricky on Sierra. You can close this. You click on this, and then it will fail the first time. You click OK, and you click it again, and then it works. So, again, Voss from Far Cry 3, fuck you. You're wrong. Trying to do the same thing multiple times and expecting different results is insanity, unless it's computers at least, because there's a fresh install of Wineskin, and I fucking clicked it twice. Circumstances will change between attempts. That quote, throw it out the window, but just fuck it. Alright. So, we don't need to do this. We don't really need to do this. You can skip right to advanced, and this is what helps. Browse, it might not actually work. Again, this is a 16-bit application, so it might not do anything. What? Okay, I might need to actually drag it into here. So, you gotta show package contents, drive C, I don't know where that goes, somewhere. You can, actually, we might just be able to put it right there. This is not the right way to do it, but let's see if we can do it anyway. Okay, alright, now that it's in the directory of the paint package, it's in there. Let's do a test run. That looks promising. Again, probably won't do it. Okay, let's view the logs. Okay, so not really that big of a deal. So, that paint won't work. So, what other paints do we have? I happen to have the... Drag that back out. I have the paint from Windows 98. And it's just called Mspaint. Put that there. Browse. Now again, this may not work, but we'll see. For some reason, it still thinks it's paint. Oh yeah, because I named it paint. So again, Wineskin not working. So, but that is not entirely unheard of. Here's this right here. This little checkbox right here, very helpful. Use start.exe. Works better sometimes. So we're going to do that instead. And that's actually, I wish I didn't do that, because that means that it's going to go full screen and I didn't change the options. So, shit. Okay, it's still fucked up, so let's go screen options. Let's do an override. Windowed virtual desktop at, let's just say 800 by 600. Done. So now let's test run it. Aha, here we are. Oh, and it closed again. Shit. Well, shit, this is harder than it was last time. Just delete that line. Tools. Okay, so now that I've disassociated Mspaint, it actually makes the Wine desktop. So now you can sort of see what happened here. It is kind of like a virtual machine, isn't it? It has a little window, but let's take a look at the performance impact. Again, this isn't going to be entirely... Oh, shit. Okay. So Paint is using a bit of CPU. How much memory is it using? Not a whole lot, is it? So it's very much more lightweight than anything else. So you can see it's much more lightweight than a actual running a full virtual machine. So what looks familiar here? Program files, users, Windows, MS Paint. That's the same directory as the thing that I probably closed somewhere. What the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. So is this live updating? Let's drag this in here. Let's do that and go back. Oh, now we can see Paint is in there. So this is the same directory as over here. So in theory, if you had some sort of malware that was in here, it could affect this folder. I don't think anything else. Can we run MS Paint from here? I don't know. Probably not. It's probably broken. So let's try and run something a little bit newer. Like the Windows XP MS Paint. I have to launch Windows XP now. Fuck. Okay, I got it. Here it is. Somewhere. There it is. I need to rename it. I don't know if it'll run with a different name, but... And it might not like running outside of its native environment. So, back and forth, and XP MS Paint. Will that run? Fuck A. And for the record, Windows 98 MS Paint actually runs in Windows 10. So, just trust me on that. And as you can see, MS Paint does work on Windows 10. Doesn't really look like I'm running this in Windows 10 because OBS didn't want to capture the border of this window. But it's definitely running on my host system. So there's not really a need to use Wineskin or anything if you were trying to do something else here. But this is a sort of a roundabout shit anyway, so... yeah, even though the sound effects sound like Windows 98, I assure you it is still in my host operating system. Yes, I have my notification sound set to that. So what do we do now? None of the MS Paint works. Well, I guess there is something we can try. A little app here I made called Grape Guy back in 2003. There's Grape Guy. Grape Guy at least launched. Can't really Alt-Tab inside of this. And if you close this, it closes the whole thing. So I'll do the first thing. Then I guess that first loading window closed and it thought that the whole app closed. So I'm gonna have to find someone else. Hey, it worked! Holy shit. With MIDI and sound effects! Holy shit! Fuck, what happened? Runs like shit. We got some serious Inception level shit going on now. There we go. So yeah, that definitely works. Little buttons and everything. It's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to, this is all supposed to integrate. So let's see if we can let it do that. So it's gonna finish. And I don't know if you were noticing the CPU load there. But it kind of dropped down when it was done. So now we're not going to use start.exe. And we could set the screen options so that it's not overridden. See, normal Windows, virtual desktop. So we don't want a virtual desktop anymore. So we'll see if it'll actually run like that instead of, it'll run as its own window instead of having a virtual. Yeah, there it is. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. Look at that. You can just, it integrates with this right here, this Mac border, and gives me little things to click on there, and it's the same shit. And look at that. You get this sort of X11 thing floating around for that. That's cool. It still works. Okay, alright. So, if we can do that, this is why Wine takes a little bit of tweaking. And when this gets done, you can just launch it by clicking on this. And, you know, works in a virtual machine as well. What the fuck? Get the hell out of here. Okay, so most of the time, though, we want to use virtual desktop if you have a lot of different little apps you're going to use, so that you just have one main sort of quote-unquote Windows thing you can run. It gives you a simple virtual desktop, although you can't change the resolution unless you go in here. But then you can select different things, especially if you get rid of this, and then you do this, so it brings up quote-unquote Explorer. Again, I'll do it again so you can see it. And there it is. Wine Explorer. And then I can select, can cheap games still be run from here? It can. And then you can freely quit it and then still have access to your files. So it's just really personal preference. Do you want like a whole bunch of different Wineskin wrappers to launch each of your games or whatever? Or do you just want one big one that you can select from? Different games have different setups. Holy shit, by the way, on that CPU load. Different games have different setups, so what is downloading? Oh, I think macOS 10 is downloading updates. Remind me tomorrow. Okay. So, it's pretty handy. Now, what else can we run that's actually something we need to use on a regular basis? I don't know. It's a really fucking good question. Whoa, what is happening over here? Yeah, update shared cache? I don't know what that is. If I close this, I bet you it'll go away. No, it's just fucking me over, whatever that is. It's nothing to do with what I'm doing. It's just something, it's probably... Oh god. It's probably updates or something. So what if you want to run more sophisticated software? I think you can do it exactly the same way. So let's go test run right here. I don't know if you can hear this. I have a copy of Office XP. A legitimate, I don't even think it's been opened. Or it's been opened, but it's hasn't been used at all. It's got a very shiny disc thing. You can't see it, but yeah, it's very shiny disc. And we're going to see if we can install it off the disk in Sierra. Now, there's a lot of people who aren't really willing to switch off of Microsoft Office. They're not willing to switch to the Mac version of Microsoft Office, for example, or something like that. You know, you switch from PC to Mac and you still want to use Microsoft Office. You can't use your same copy of... You have to get like a new copy of Microsoft Office, right? Well, if you use Wine, that might not be necessary. So let's see if I can mount that. First, I gotta get rid of this. I need to like restart my computer. What the fuck is this? Okay. So connect. And here we have Office. Now, is it going to be installable? I don't know. Pretty much won't let me run anything unless I... Maybe if I copy literally everything. How big is this? 348 megs. That's not so bad. How much space I got? A lot of gigs. So why don't we do that? Just go crazy and just install it. It's probably going to think it's not on a disk anymore and it's going to pitch a fit. Let's try it. Office disk. Now, I have the legitimate product key, so it shouldn't be a problem. No, not there. No, bad. Office disk. Oh, you can create folders in there. That's cool. There are other ways to do it, and I think you can install them a different way. Remember when I first... This is the advanced Wineskin. I think I can install things without having to do this, but we'll do this first because it's the Draga way. I don't know. So if this works with Office XP, then no doubt it would probably work with older version of Office, like 2000. I think 2000 was one. 97. How far can you go back? I don't know. If you already have a copy, you might just be able to install this if you're clever. Let's see if we can do it. But in all honesty, instead of doing all of this shit to get your Microsoft Office working, why don't you just use LibreOffice or something? I mean, I can go into the Mac App Store, like right now, and search for, let's see, fuck. Can you actually still get this for free? Yeah, see this? You can get Pages, Numbers, and Keynote for free now. So, you know, you don't have to do this. I mean, sure, Pages sucks for some people, but I don't know, maybe. Get your work done, dude. I don't know. Oh my god, that cursor! Why it turns the cursor flat? There. And it's back. Well, simply copying the files is not a big deal. It doesn't help that there's 2 disks, and it'll probably want to go from disk 1 to disk 2 and say, oh, where's all my shit? Okay, so go back, forwards, setup. Well, it seems to have taken the product key. Let's do a custom install because I don't want it to... Okay, we don't need access. I don't want to use Outlook because this thing probably doesn't have any sort of internet, and even if it does, I'm not going to use that. We just want our core Word, Excel, and PowerPoint like we were promised from our Lord Bill Gates. Okay. Okay. Oh, shit! Okay. So maybe that won't work. But we can go into program files and maybe we can see it starting to... Oh, nope. Okay. Alright, so let's close this. We'll do it the other way. The correct way. Might not work anyway, but let's see. Here's the install software button. Select setup exe or other program that installs the software. Always install it to the C drive. Okay, so let's do this. Choose setup executable. Let's do it this way. Okay, so this is another way to do it. Okay. Let's do a custom. Next. We don't want this. You know, actually, I'm not even going to install PowerPoint and Excel. I'm just going to install Word because something's probably going to fuck up if I don't. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Fuck, that's the last one before it crashed last time. Shit. God damn it. Maybe the installer failed. Well, that doesn't work. Shit. Mine's been so busy. Cancel. Stop being busy. Wow, it actually ejected it from the physical drive when I did that. Oh, shit. Ah, shit, it all froze up. Oh, no, it didn't. Whoa, we'll catch up there. Shit. Just go away. Just stop. Stop. Okay. Quake fucking 3. Also, you don't need to install Quake 3 into Wineskin. All you have to do is just use IOQuake, but okay. This is just a test to see if we can even get anything installed by the Wineskin install thing, which, you know, is possible. I mean, Zorin OS could do it with fucking, not even, you the fuck. Let's do minimum. Let's do maximum, whatever. Okay, again, we are. It still thinks it's running Paint. Just dance this around to show that it's still running on macOS. Do I miss Steve Jobs? Yeah, kind of a bit, yeah, actually. It's not the same. I will remember you. Wake 3 Arena, motherfucker! I will put a taquito in an iBook G4. Somebody on YouTube rebuilded iBook clamshell G3 and put in i7. Can you put Intel processor and SSD to iBook clamshell? Well, no.
Enemy spotted.
Good wreck. Good wreck. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'll learn how they fight.
Oh, baby, a triple!
Hey. These guys aren't so scary.
Legends never die!
Oh, this guy's gonna fuck me over. Shit. Whoa. How did I get out of that? Which is better, weed or pussy? Jesus Christ, you guys. You're asking some pretty personal questions there. Hey, it's John Carmack. I think. Oh God. When you get close, his eyes like... Oh shit! Did you guys see that? Oh my God, look at his eyes! God damn, oh my God! Eat your heart out, GTA, Jesus Christ, what's happening? Fucking out of my way, shit. Oh man, God damn it. This is bad, I can't control the vehicle. Oh God damn, why is the game so loud? Shit! I gotta lose these cops, man. Shit, I need more coffee. Okay, I played Retro City Rampage. Hope you're happy. Everybody happy?
Are you happy?